Hello everyone, and welcome to another preview video for Steel Division 2. Finally, as we finally can talk about the Steel Division Tribute to Normandy DLC for Steel Division 2, and the patch really can't come out soon enough together with the DLC, as the current state of balance not the best, so I'm really looking forward to this patch, as we're also planning for Steel Division 2 League Season 12 and more events over at SDL. Fiery Rommel planning for another Generals tournament and so on. So if you want to keep informed about that, join the Discord, as we for sure gonna have more Steel Division 2 action once this DLC has dropped. And yeah, also consider subscribing to this channel here, as this will be the home of Steel Division 2 and all other World War II related content over at SDL. So yeah, with that said, let's jump into the Big Red 1 preview here. As always, this is a preview build, so there might be things still to change till the full release, but we're really closing in here. As you can see, text is still missing, but luckily, we already had this division, right? It's the tribute to Normandy 44, and we had that division there, and the text there, as you can see on screen right now, was all about how elite this formation was. Big Red 1, involved in all campaigns before Normandy, that the US was involved in the European theater, in Algeria, in Tunisia, Sicily, and so on, moving all the way through Europe afterwards. And yep, they are the most elite American infantry division, even more elite than the 2nd Infantry. And we gotta jump in here now into looking at what they bring in SD2. As the Recon tab, pretty small one, pretty standard as well. You get your M8 grounds here, you get snipers, which can only come in jeeps, and you get your scouts and recons, with, as always with the Americans, a bit of lack of AT in the recon tab, no bazookas or anything like that, not even AT grenades, but at least you can get some M20s here for both the recon and the scouts as your transports, so that might be worthwhile here. And then Jeep 50 cal, not greatest, but if you want to have some radio on the transport, they can deliver that to you. So pretty standard recon tab here, relatively low on numbers for an infantry division, but at least still enough to get you covered. And then infantry tab, obviously, where this division's focus lies, as you get quite a solid variety of units here, with a couple of special ones, just like in Normandy. Assault is in front of everybody's name, as we have the Assault Busters here, which are your Willy Pete rocket gun with HE bazooka, basically assault unit here, 5 M1 carbines. So the assault bazooka here with the HE, really helpful to get yourself into some CQC fights. I'm not sure if that's fully worth 20 points here. I mean, yes, nice HE damage over 250 meter range is good, but it's only a 5-man squad, so we will see how well these guys play out. Assault fire support, that's 20 point double browning. So yeah, your classic fire support unit. Also a bit priced up, though they have better MGs than other fire support units here. So the double MG for 20 points might be worthwhile if you bring them behind your basics, for example, which are our classic basics, only coming up from B phase onward though, so you're a bit limited there. But basics still decent with the M1 Grand 2 carbines. So yeah, a lot of manpower for the 20 points as always, and they have been more OP in the past, but they're still pretty good here. Basics coming around. Then you get your Stonewallers, which are pretty classic infantry squad. They also come at low experience level, which is a bit unfortunate here, but yeah, they have a bar, they have M1 Grants, only an 8-man squad. At least the availability is good, or decent, but the loadout is only mediocre, 20 points. Yes, good rifles, but only 8 men, which is a bit of the issue here, hit point wise, but the firepower they have is pretty good for 20 points. Just no 18, not even an AT grenade here. Leaves them a bit lacking. Engineer leaders, as always, coming on high availability though, with 3 availability, that's nice. Like highest level of veterancy there, that's pretty solid. Engineer leaders there, quite standard. Engineers here, pretty standard as well. The pretty solid American, high DPS and CQC with the Thompson and Grants in comparison to other engineers, but only 9 hit points. TNT solid as always. And then rifle earlies, 30 standard American stuff here as well. Coming on base 1 veterancy, which is nice, but yeah, limited to B and C phase, so you really have to go through A phase just like in Normandy 44 with your assaults here. And then the standard formations come in from B phase onwards, including the rifles. Assault preachers keeping you through A as well. These are a pretty beefy squad. Pretty focused on CQC here. Smoke plus TNT, cool combo. Always a cool combo to see. And 11-man strength, really solid as well. Have the shock trait, so these guys really can mess enemies up CQC. And yeah, 30 points, 4-6 availability, pretty decent there as well. Veterancy on these guys as well. So these, for sure, quite the solid squad. Assault leader, interesting formation as well. Only 2 availability and relatively expensive, but bazooka, snipers, and 7 men, so quite the strong layout as well. No smoke, as they are limited to 4 weapon slots here, but outside of that, a really solid leader if you want to have a leader that sticks with your frontline combat units. So assault leader here, quite nice unit. Rifle late, yeah, standard as well. Coming only at C phase. They are literally late here in this one. And yeah, they come with the double bar. They come with the all you know from them 30-point unit with 12 hit points. Forward firepower, really worth it. Or obviously lack of AT like most American squads. That's a bit painful here, but you at least have some other options like the assault leaders here to get some bazookas. And then assault team, 35 points. Pretty expensive, but 13 men, shocks, and smoke. And the availability of this is amazing. But 35 points is pretty brutal. 1 veterancy with 9 availability. If that stays this way, this formation is really good in that regard. But the 35 points, obviously, quite pricey for a unit that is looking towards CQC. Though with 2 bars and grants, it actually can fight on every range. And the smoke allows you to get into CQC as well. Like, this is a all-around package for if you want to get into any fight, basically. Like with automatic rifles as the bars, they have pretty good firepower below 100 meters as well. Those are not LMGs, those can still fire under 100 meters. So the DPS of this unit on all ranges is really solid. And at that point then, 35 points is actually well worth it. And yeah, the availability is great. This carries you through A phase basically on your own if you're careful, and then you just keep your other units like the Stonewallers as your flanking units. So infantry tab in this division as it's needed, because that's the focus of this division. Really strong. This whole team for sure is strong new unit here, and the others all pretty okay as well. As I said, like the Assault Buster I'm not too sold upon, but it can do its job as well. Assault Fire Support, yeah, for holding a flank can be nice. Stonewallers gets you cheaply there as well, and then the late game, the classic, pretty strong American infantry. So that is not really a problem either. And yeah, we have the rifle leader here down below, which are pretty standard as well. Tank tab, just like in Normandy, relatively limited. You get few cards, you get few options, but Germans are at least Germans, so they come in limited phases as well, as you don't get any normal Shermans in B phase, which is pretty interesting. I believe it's one of the first times that we see it like this, where B is grayed out. Cool idea here. In B phase, if you want to have tanks, you have to go for M5 A1s. It's not the biggest issue though. If you get enough numbers in A phase, you will survive through B phase as well, and then you can get another C phase card, and I mean, you get endless Germans even with 1 card. So M4 A1s should be not an issue here too much, less so than in Normandy, where the limited tanks were a bit of an issue for this division, but in Steel Division 2, it's not that much of a problem here, especially as in C phase you get such high numbers. And yeah, the M4 A1s here come in decent availabilities as well. The A1DD here coming with slightly lower price for the lack of 1 MG. 1 Browning gets lost, plus they also come a bit slower onto the battlefield. But they come with decent veterancy here as well. And yeah, that's all pretty nice. Tank tab gets you through the game, but obviously it's supposed to be a bit of a weakness there, and it kind of is, with a bit of lack of variety and limiting in phases you can bring them in. Support tab though, another strength of this division. You get decent options here with MGs. No special transport there, but yeah, both M1990 and an M2HB are pretty decent MGs. You get your decent classic GMC supply, and then you get M7DDs, which are pretty good fire support. You get M3 howitzers, which are pretty good fire support, and you get the M4 105mm, which is a pretty good fire support unit as well. So yes, a bit of a face limitation here as well, but you get all the ones you need, and you get a decent enough availability here to bring them also in. Commanders, all pretty classic as well, but this M7DD, M3, M4 really gives you the HE fire support that you want in a division like that. And then the anti-tank tab gets you most likely through the game as well. As you get M1 guns, you get M5 guns, and you get AM10s, which aren't necessary with the combination with the tank tab to get yourself some longer range AT power. You only get them in B, that's the other way around here, but they are the most needed in B in my eyes as well, so getting them there is quite nice as well. So the M10 here will carry you there. M5 gun only comes in B as well, so A-phase, a bit of a problem if you run into anything heavier armored, like the T-3485 or so, can start to become an issue, as you don't have APC shells here, you only have your Shermans in A, so A-phase, a bit of a problem, but your infantry tab, they're pretty strong, and yeah, you will have to be a bit more careful there. In B-phase, you start to be able to deal with it. Obviously not the greatest numbers here, but it's something that can help you out there, and then you hopefully can stay through C phase, maybe with some artillery and so on as well, as we will get there in a second. AA, another weakness of this division to some extent, but I mean, anything with a Bofors is not really weak in AA, but you have to rely on your Bofors, your M16s here, to get you through the game, and the numbers here a bit limited, but not terrible either. A 122 is not the worst AA tab we've ever seen, so it's okay there as well. Mortar and howitzers here though, that's another strength, as you get a lot of options. You get 60mm, you get 81mm with radio, you get 105 howitzers, you get long toms, you get some M7s if you want them, and you even get some off map here in A-phase with some big off map, that some naval 14-inch guns helping you out there. So yeah, the artillery tab, decent enough availability for it as well, so this for sure a strength of the division. Long toms only coming in from B phase onward, but I mean, you usually don't use them in A either, and having the off map early on, having the mortars, especially radio mortars here with the 17 or 81, or the spam version with the 60mm, really gives you a good amount of variety. Mortars only coming from B phase onward, a bit of an issue, but you get some howitzers if you want to have some artillery earlier, you get some mortar half-track, so it's not the biggest of issues, really, either. And then the air tab is a solid one. It's P51 D5s only as planes, which actually have the issue of overshooting because they are so fast, but at least 6 50 cals on these ones, so they can deal more damage than some other P51 versions with only 4 of them. Though still the speed maybe even being a bit of an issue here for this, but the availability is great on these guys. And you get some cool 820 versions here, which actually can help out in a pinch with their 50 cals in front as well. And they come with rockets. 12 110mm rockets can deal good amount of damage. Availability is decent. You get some big bomb version here with 450 kilogram bombs, which is fantastic, and then a smaller one with better availability, but slightly higher price here with 8 227 kilogram bombs for a bit more spread. The P38 bombing version is also always a bit inconsistent because they die so quickly if they get hurt. Like, you have to be careful of them, but if you can bring them in around areas where there's no enemy air defense, they are fantastic as they come in quickly, they come in as quick reaction, and so they can be nice in a pinch as well. Availability not the most amazing here though, so I feel like 820 plus P51 is the usual way to go for it, but having this P38 card to get some bombs done, pretty nice as well. So yeah, with that said, this is the first overview video over division. Yeah, for everybody interested in some defenses, you can see them here. We're gonna go over the other ones in the upcoming videos. Also, for everybody wondering, there's not too many transport options here. Yeah, really a lack of half-tracks in this division. For everybody who was wondering that. You get the GMC HMGs just like in Steel Division, which are unarmored though. They have a 50 cal, but I'm not really feeling like they're worthwhile, especially not for 10 points. If they would go down to 5 points, maybe, but then the 50 cal might be too strong. Yeah, but this is Big Red 1. We're gonna go over each other division over the upcoming days, one division per day, and then we're also gonna cover the patch at the end. So if you don't want to miss it, leave a like and a comment down, and a subscription especially for the information down below. And I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye bye, and have a great day.